Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at our last part of target D, where we're working with volume. And we're going to be just looking at a few more complex problems today. So if I look at A, one thing I forgot is I forgot to have the volume given to you, and you should, because the problem says use the given volume. So quickly write down the three volumes of these figures. A, it's 588 pi centimeters cubed. B is 1,000 millimeters cubed, and C is 975, and there's no unit on that, so units cubed, I guess would be our unit there. Units cubed, and that's just a U for a unit. Alright, so for these, it's the same exact thing. I still am always going to have like my volume equals the area times my height. But now, instead of not knowing my volume, I know my volume, and I don't know some other part of my equation. So for this, my volume is still 588 pi. That's something I know. That equals, well, the area of my base, right, this area here is pi times x squared, and I don't know x, and then my height is just 12, so times 12. So I have 588 pi equals 12 pi x squared. So now I'm dividing by 12 pi on both sides. So I get 49 equals x squared, right, because those cancel out. And now I'm just solving for x, so I'm taking the square root. So really, x equals 7 centimeters. So x equals 7 centimeters for that one. Looking at B, right, now this is a triangular prism. So this is my base. If you look, these two things are equal. Okay? So my volume still equals the area of the base times the height, because this is still a prism. So 1,000 equals, well, the area of this base, right, it's a triangle, so it's 1/2 times x, because since these corners are the same, those x's are the same, and then my height is 20. So I have 1,000 equals 10x squared. So I'm going to divide by 10. I have 100 equals x squared. Take the square root of both sides. So x equals 10. And this is millimeters. Because we're just writing one side, it's just millimeters. It's not squared or cubed. Alright, for our last one. Now this is a pyramid. So when I'm writing my volume formula, right, volume equals 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So my volume is 975 times 1/3 times. Now my area of the base, right, the base is down here. It's a square that's 15 by 15. Equals, sorry. So that's times 15 times 15. And then my height, right, that's what's x. So 975 equals, I can multiply all three of these things together. 1/3 times 15 times 15, and I believe you get 75x. And then I'm simply dividing by 75, and x equals 13 units. X equals 13. X equals 13 there. Okay. So if I'm just solving for a sum, I'm not solving for the volume, I'm given the volume, I can solve for parts of my figure. All right, looking at our next examples. All right, now these are complex figures, so we're finding more than one thing. So if I look at A, the first thing I see is I have this big box, right? So I have a big box, and then I have a pyramid. I don't know why that's in green, but that's fine. I have a, oh, I'm turning yellow again. I have a pyramid on top of it. So I'm going to find the volume of the big box first. So volume equals area of the base times the height. So that's 14 times 9 is the area of this base, and then my height is 8. So my area of this, my volume of the prism on bottom is 1008. Can't write today. 1008, and that's inches cubed. Now I need to find the volume of this pyramid, right, on top. Or sorry, this, not pyramid, the triangular prism on top. So the volume equals, again, the area of the base times the height, which is, well, my base is a triangle. My base is this triangle. The height of the triangle is 5. The length of the triangle is 14. Right? So I'm taking those two measurements, right? 5 and 14. And I'm multiplying it by my height, which is 9. So the volume of this figure is 5 times 14 times 9. When I multiply all those together, I get 630 inches cubed. Now, if I want to find the total volume of this whole thing, all I'm doing is adding them together. So the volume of the total is 1008 plus 630. So my total volume is 1638 inches cubed. Alright, looking at B. Again, I have two different prisms here. I have this prism on bottom. Okay. And I have another rectangular prism on top here. So I'm going to find the volume of the larger prism first. And again, that's the area of the base times the height. So I have 18 times 8 times 12. That should be equal times 12. Multiplying those together, I get 1,728. Right, and that's centimeters. Now I need to find the volume of the smaller prism. Right, so again, it's area times the height. Right, so I have 6, and then this is still 8, right? Just like this was 8. That's the same length. So 6 times 8 times 3. And when I multiply those together, right, because my height here is 3, when I multiply those together, I get 144. Now, in order to get my total volume, I'm just adding them together. So I have 1728 plus 144. And when I add those together, I get 1,872. And again, centimeters cubed. So that's my total volume there. All right, looking at letter C. Right. This one's a little more complicated. What this means is I have taken this cylinder out of this prism. So I'm still going to start by finding the volume of this whole prism, the whole thing. Right. So volume equals 18 times 10, right? My area of my base times the height, which is 8. 18 times 10 times 8 is 1,440, and that's inches cubed. Now I do need to find the volume of this cylinder here, right? The volume of the cylinder is also the area of the base times the height. So my base is this circle here. My radius of that is not 4, it's 4 divided by 2, which equals 2. So the area of that circle is pi times 2 squared times the height, which is this whole length, which is the same as this. Right, so I have pi times 2 squared times 18. So when I multiply all those together, I get 72 pi. Inches. Now again, I took this whole prism and then I took out that cylinder. That cylinder has been removed. So the total volume is going to be 1,440 minus 72 pi. Okay? And when I subtract those, I get about 1,173.8 inches cubed. Alright, looking at D. Again, I have two shapes here. I have this, which is a prism, and if I look, I have this shape here, which is like a half cylinder. It's almost a cylinder, but it's only half of one. Okay, so looking at my prism first, volume equals the area of the base times the height, which is 8 times 2, because technically this length is 2, times 6. 8 times 2 times 6. So I get 96 meters cubed for that area. Now I want to do the area of my cylinder, which is really half a cylinder. Right? So I have my base, which is a circle, whose technically radius is just 1. So since this is half a cylinder, I have 1/2 times my volume. So times the area of the base times the height. So I have 1/2 times pi times 1 squared, and my height here is 6. When I multiply all of those together, I get 3 pi. Now, when I'm finding my total area, I'm multiplying this whole, or I'm adding these. This is a whole thing. So 96 plus 3 pi. Okay. And when I add those together, I get about 105.4. And this is meters cubed. Sorry. Meters cubed. I don't need to circle that. Alright, and that's it for volume. I'll see you guys tomorrow.